welcome back to Bumbershoot, where we're covering life's chaos with humor and heart. Hey, Trace.
Hi. I didn't know if we were practicing or this was the real.
Yeah, we had last
recording.
week, we had our sound changed, and we don't know why. We first thought it was because we had 5 mics on. I don't know. We're not techie, so it's troubleshooting.
Yeah.
To get us back to where we were really good for a while with our sound. So anyway, hopefully this is okay for today. Rhonda's not with us again. She had a little mix up in her schedule. Where's she, in Laughlin?
She's in, Harrah's. It's in San Diego.
Oh, Harrah's.
But like,
because,
Funner, California.
Funner?
Yeah.
Is that the name of the city?
Yeah.
It's called Funner?
Yes.
I did not know that.
I've been once. I went years ago.
Too.
Okay. I wanted to, but I didn't want it to be so loud.
Yeah, she's...
Sorry, everyone.
Hold the
Sounds like
thunder.
we're good.
Oh, I didn't know there was a town called Funner in California.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
And that's where Harrah's is. So.
Is it funner than here?
No. It's literally like in the middle of nowhere.
They had to call it that to make it better.
It wasn't that fun to me, but,
Oh my gosh.
They have a good pool there.
Oh, okay. Well, have fun at Harrah's, Rhonda.
Miss you, Rhonda.
Yeah, we miss you. This is 2 weeks in a row, Rhonda.
I know.
Don't make a habit of it.
I'm going to have to get a bigger picture on the Bumbershoot Instagram page. It'll be you, and then I'll have a little bit bigger, and then Rhonda will be
Oh, she's like, no. Okay, Trace. So remember last week when I was like, oh, finally this, like the last 10 days was like a month.
Emotional and a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot. It was a lot. So I thought, okay, cool. Now I'm just going to Monday. Was it Monday? I think it was Monday. Yeah, because we recorded on Sunday.
Yes, we did Sunday.
Yeah. So Monday, it was, a work day, whatever. And then I was like, cool, let's just go home. But my in-laws were still here. So I figured it was going to be like a dinner with the in-laws.
Yeah.
Because Alex is off and the restaurants are closed. So that's what we usually do, family night anyway. So that's fine. So Alex decided we were going to have dinner in Newport Beach.
So fun.
It is. It's fun. It was just, we had to leave early.
Yeah.
And, the whole travel thing. And I was like, okay. Driving is mentally exhausting too.
It totally is.
And so I was like, okay, yes, let's go to Newport Beach. So anyway, I go, what are we going to do? Because I know we don't eat dinner early. There's no early bird special in the Preston Filippo lives. We're about 8:30, 9 o'clock dinner eaters. And I'm like, we're getting there at 5. What are we going to do? So Luke is like, Pa, what are we doing for 4 hours or whatever? And he's like, well, since it's Nono's last trip here, I want to take them back around to where I first came to California in America. In my old stomping grounds, Costa Mesa, show them the apartment again, show them where I worked again. And so we got the tour again. And we were like, okay, well, that's over. Now we have 2 hours till dinner. What are we going to do? So he's like, well, we're going to drive down the coast to Laguna.
Oh, nice.
And just cruise. So I get a text message from my sister in Colorado. And she says, Charity, Dad is going, well, actually, pause.
Yeah.
Because earlier that day, Donna, our friend Donna called.
Yeah, I was with you. It was right after the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
But he hadn't. That was all I knew, is that she called you.
Yeah, so she called me to say we went to play pickleball, and he could only play for like 5 minutes, and then he started telling her, Donna, she's telling me this, that he had all these like symptoms going on, for some of them for 2 weeks or more, and some of them for the whole weekend. Now, mind you, I'm his local daughter and his medical director, and I knew nothing about any of the symptoms. And he gets these, I don't know, there's a thing about when you get older, you kind of become the child, and your child becomes the parent, right?
Yeah.
And so I do this a lot with Dad. I'm the one. And I'm like, why would he not tell me? And the only thing I could think of is that he knows I'm busy. He doesn't want to bother me. Mm-hmm. But he's already got the lectures that's like, you don't think for me. You need to talk to me. Yeah. So anyway, Donna's like, I was worried about him, so I told him he needs to go to the doctor right now. And she goes, but Charity, I don't know if he's going to go straight there. So please, I just had to call and tell you, he needs to go to the doctor, the things he was telling me. So I go, okay, Donna, I'll call him. As to not rat her out that we're all. So I said, hey, Dad. And he's like, hey, how's it going? And And I go, good, but how are you? And he goes, oh. He goes, are you at the office? I go, yeah. He goes, can I come talk to you? I go, sure. And I'm thinking, why does he have to come to the office to talk to me? He's on the phone right now. And he goes, okay, hold on. I'm just helping a guy in the parking lot with his battery, and I'll be right up.
Of course he was.
So I was like, okay. So he gets there and he sits down. And he's like, oh, my ankles, look how swollen they are. Now he had a compound fracture in his ankle from a motorcycle accident that he literally almost died in. It's probably been about 10 years now. And it swells all the time. So I'm sure at first he was just thinking it's the compound fracture ankle, but it was both ankles and they were literally as big as his like calf.
Oh gosh.
And then he was telling me that he had this pain. It was like upper abdomen, lower chest, but he is a heart patient. I'm doing quote signs because heart patients are always heart patients. So anytime they have any chest pain, they have to call the ambulance is what you're supposed to do. But Dad inevitably says, I've been having a little bit of pain the last couple nights. And I'm like, Dad, because obviously he doesn't want to go in the ambulance and he doesn't want to do the whole rigmarole of the emergency room and all that. I get it, but you're a heart patient, so... And at the end of the day, like, he doesn't have a wife, so his daughters are the ones that are in charge, and we don't live with them. So
you're the only one here. So
and it's a lot on me to have like that. It's a lot when it falls on you, kind of, just emotionally, mentally. So just kind of touching back that my emotional week. Oh, it did not end. So I said, Dad, it sounds like you need to go to the doctor. Why don't you, it's a Monday, why don't you go see if they can see you today? That way you don't go through the emergency room situation. And if they think you need the emergency room, they'll send you. Okay, I'll go. I said, if you can't get in, you let me know. Okay. So he calls me and he says, I got in at 3:00. Perfect. Okay, so he had called me on the way on our way to Laguna or Newport Beach, and told me, okay, Amber saw me and she said she wants me to go see my cardiologist. She didn't like my EKG. Mind you, she didn't like it, but she didn't rush him to the hospital. Okay. Then she said, I want you to see a gastroenterologist because that pain, so that's heart and pain, maybe upper gastro. And then she wanted him to see his urologist and I can't remember the other one. So it was 4 specialists. So I told him, I said, okay, this is where Brandy can be helpful because we try to team up on taking care of him. I said, Brandy can help you make your doctor's appointments. And then obviously I'm local, so if you want me to go or whatever, I'm here for the local. He said, okay. So I called Brandy. Brandy called Dad. We had it all going. So then Brandy called our sister Nicole to follow up on the project she was doing for Dad. So she informed her of what was going on. So Nicole called Dad to check in on him. And I don't know. I don't know. There's no blame game, but Nicole, like, well, Dad, those are symptoms you need to go to the hospital for, and started telling him that. So he started getting nervous. And then she talked to Cammie, her other sister in Colorado, who called him, and then he got emotional with her, nervous and emotional, and said, okay, I'll call someone to come get me because she's out of town. Yeah. So I'll call somebody to come get me and take me to the ER. So that's when Cammie texted me that Dad's calling around to get someone to take him to the ER. And I'm thinking, what happened from when I saw him? And I just talked to him an hour ago. Yeah. So anyway, I get it. I get the concern of the girls that aren't physically here. But at the same time, can we have a little powwow before we get them nervous and send them to the ER? Because guess who has to go to the ER? Yes. The locals do. And it's not, obviously we'd do it on heartbeat if we have to, but he had just saw his doctor an hour and a half before that. Right.
That's like a lot of specialists to try to get in with too. So, but she didn't think he had to go to the hospital at that point.
Well, and that's the thing. And I will fill you in, but he didn't necessarily need to. Now, did it expedite all those tests and everything? 100%. So it was easier, and he didn't have to be in that pain for another day. So, it's not, that's why there's no blame. It's no harm, no foul. Everything worked out the way it needed to, but it was just like, oh gosh, now I'm out in Laguna and I'm going to dinner while my dad's at the ER. Like, that didn't seem right. So Brandy and the girls were planning to come the next day. The girls wanted to visit both of the grandparents. So they decided to come out that night to go be with Dad in the emergency room. So I was in their neck of the woods. They came, picked me up.
And we drove back. Out well. I wondered how you got back. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, but it's just now that it's stressful because now there's unknowns, and now I'm like, I don't know what he was feeling. I didn't really have full-on conversation with him before he got picked up. So when I called him and I told my sister, so what I did is I told my sister, Cami, I'm like, I will call around for someone to take him to the ER. And so I called him. And he goes, Charity, Heather's on her way to pick me up.
He called Heather.
He called Donna first because he had been with her in the morning. Yeah. Then he called cousin Dave.
Okay.
And Dave didn't answer, which he doesn't a lot. And then he called Heather and thought out of the four of them, somebody could take him.
Yeah.
And so Heather was like, where's Charity? And he said, she's, I don't know, in LA somewhere or something. And so she's like, getting my shoes on, I'll be there right there. So then she called me. She's like, I don't know if you know, but I'm taking your dad to the hospital. I go, yeah, I know. So anyway, all of that right there, it's like really cool and special that
awesome.
He has a tribe, you know? So then, then it was, okay, now he has 8 children. And he has 4 siblings. And then he has the people that he called to take him to the hospital originally. And then he has all of those around here that, are in his everyday life that care and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, I have done the multiple group texts and it's really, really rough.
Yes.
So I thought to make an Instagram group because that way it's kind of, you can control the notifications. You can go in if you want. You can catch up if you want. And I kind of did a vlog of what was happening. So you were on it, and
I was on it. It was funny because you created the group, but I didn't get any of the videos. So literally, I was already at work, and I was like in the movie theater with my students, and I texted you, I'm like, tell him, is he okay? That's all I want to know because I can't watch the videos.
Yeah, and Rhonda the same. She was at work as well, and so she checked in, and that's totally fine. But I was just like, let me defer you to that because it's so much. It was so much information that it was hard for me. But then, like, my sister Nicole's like, but if you watch the video once, it disappeared. It doesn't let you watch it again. I was like, oh, shoot.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
No, I thought
or maybe she just didn't know how to. She's like, oh, I don't know if I know how to do it. So anyway.
She has it on vanish mode, I bet. There's like, you can accidentally put it on vanish mode where once you read it, it goes away. Because I could go back to your videos.
Oh, maybe.
There's this, I don't know. I accidentally hit it once in a while, and I'm like, I don't know how, but.
Well, that could be what happened, and maybe she couldn't see them again. But I had my brother Joe back in Connecticut or in New Jersey going, thank you so much. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Because you could really keep up with it without having to and you're getting firsthand. Because as soon as I got a report, I would jump on there and tell. And so then I kind of took it into, what did I do that Monday? Oh no, it was Tuesday, I can't remember what happened. Oh, Monday night was when we had a thunderstorm.
Oh,
and it was thundering and lightning in Temecula. And so I'm recording that and I'm stay with Dad and I tell the nurse, I want to stay till the cardiologist comes.
Yeah.
And she said, 7:30, he's not coming now. So I go, okay. So I leave. I'm so excited. Finally now I could go home. Wait. This was Tuesday. It was Tuesday because my in-laws left Tuesday day because my house was empty.
Yeah.
It was Tuesday for sure. So Brandy stayed the night Monday night. Then we went and saw him on Tuesday morning. So Tuesday night I was by myself with him. Wanted to stay for the cardiologist. She told me to leave. He wouldn't be coming. So I left. I went home. I was so excited. Like, I could finally sit on my couch, watch my show, peace and quiet. I'm going to put on some candles. It's thunderstorm and lightning. I can light a fire. I get home. There's no electricity.
That sucks.
And it's only 7:30. It's not like I could have gone to bed and gone to sleep. And I can't watch my phone that long. I'm not that person. I can't. My kids can watch it for hours. I can't do it.
And it would die and you couldn't recharge it.
True. So I jump in the car, I go back down to Bottega, and I sit at the bar and have dinner and a little cocktail.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, I stayed there until 9 so I could just go home and go to sleep. And I didn't have electricity when I went to sleep that night.
Oh my gosh.
So my long week didn't end.
Yeah.
Then Wednesday morning, our little Landis, who's our
Yes.
TBI Benny, one of our TBI Bennies. She graduated from Vista Marietta with a private graduation.
So sweet, yeah.
And her mom and her apparatus and her brother and another gal, I think might be his girlfriend, I'm not sure. They helped her walk on the stage.
Oh my gosh, that's
so
so
it was
awesome.
quite emotional. And Channel 5 from San Diego was there with Jeff, another one of our beneficiaries.
Yep.
His wife is a what do you call him? Like a news
reporter. Yeah.
Reporter. She got to do the story. Oh, it was so special.
I didn't realize she did the story. That is super cool.
She
I
did
love
the
that.
story. So yeah, you can see that on my Facebook page. That the story, it's so special, and to have our own beneficiaries be able to do the story, like, it's really cool. So we had that day, and then, to be honest, I don't remember what. Oh, Tuesday I was back with my dad all night,
And then
Wednesday.
did you go to graduation Tuesday for Stone?
No, that was Thursday.
Oh, Thursday. Sorry.
Yeah, so Thursday morning I had to wake up early, get down to the hospital to not miss the doctor. So I was there like 7:00.
Okay.
Wednesday morning and Thursday morning. Caught the doctor Wednesday morning. Thursday morning, I had to leave to go to the State of the City.
Oh yeah.
So Luca came to relieve me, but of course, the hour between me leaving and Luca coming, the doctor came. So I had to leave. I had to step out of the State of the City, listen to the doctor. He filled me in. What they had found. So this is now day 3.
Yeah, he went in Monday night.
Day
This is
4.
Thursday morning.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So day 3.
Yeah.
3.5.
Oh yeah.
So they knew they found bronchitis pretty early on. They ruled out almost every heart, but we hadn't heard from the cardiologist on his stress test. But they did do an MRI, which he had to be under for, which he was hilarious. And Nicole came down. Nicole came down on Wednesday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So Luca relieved me. No, that was Thursday?
You and Nicole relieved each other.
Wednesday. That's how I went to the
Yeah.
graduation. That's right. When Nicole came Wednesday. She stayed all day and went home that night. So that's right. And then, she was hilarious because she had to witness a lot of things. I was like, I'm glad that you were there for that. So anyway, yeah, she was a great relief. So it gave me a little bit of time to catch up on some stuff on Wednesday day. So I stayed all evening Wednesday night. Oh, because I had found out that the heart doctor came in at 11 p.m.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, great. So now Wednesday night, that was Tuesday night. So Wednesday night, I felt like I need to stay as long as possible. So anyway, Wednesday night they called and he said, no, I won't be there tonight. So I was like, okay, good. So I left about 9. Mm-hmm. And so then back to Thursday morning. Stayed at the city, stepped out, found out that we still hadn't heard from the cardiologist about the stress test, but all of the other things looked good. We were pretty sure it wasn't the heart, but they were getting the results from the MRI, which found a stone in his bile duct, which was causing all of the pain.
Crazy.
Probably causing the swelling. So they went in and took it out. So it was great. By Thursday morning, they're like, he's good to go. He can be relieved. So I was like, great. When I get back from State of the City, we'll get him checked out. And so we checked him out. We got him home. I went to work and then celebrated Stone that night.
Okay.
And then Friday had a little bit of here and there to do. Got a little caught up. Went to Ella's graduation dinner.
Yeah.
That's Tracy's daughter, which was special and sad.
Very sad.
She had not a death loss, but a bestie moving away.
The minute after they graduated.
Yeah.
She got in a car and it was very emotional.
Yeah.
I think it's emotional because getting through high school was really hard for her. She found her path and she got like all A's and like a couple B's her senior year. And she did so well. And so she definitely had something to celebrate, but it was really hard because her best friend since we moved here, like first day of 4th grade,
who was like her sister.
and she has lived with us for like the past 7 months. She moved, her family lives in Florida, so she went to Florida and then she's moving on to Israel.
Where she'll be serving in their military.
So it was very bittersweet and a little bit more bitter than sweet.
Yeah, I walked into dinner and Ella had tears down her face.
Yeah.
Poor thing. And she just, I think you saw her she allowed herself to laugh a little bit during dinner and stuff. But it was really, she just really, it's a loss, like that empty, like it's an emptiness in your heart that.
And it's been weighing on her for quite a few months, like almost counting down to that day. And so she didn't even like really want to take pictures after her graduation ceremony because she was crying, so I don't really have any pictures, but that's okay. That's okay.
But she did it, and we celebrated her despite her sadness.
You guys were sweet. Charity and Rosa brought her little gifts and tried to put a smile on her face. Yeah, it was sweet.
It was a very fun dinner. Thank you for having us.
I'm glad you guys came.
Thank you. Yeah, and then Saturday I worked with my husband at our little property that we're renovating that we'll be talking about soon. And so I was like laboring of love that day. I was in the sun. Well, it wasn't sunny until it was. So then Saturday night, I actually stayed home Saturday night and did nothing. Yeah, so that was beautiful. Yeah, and then, it's kind of been, Sunday was a fun day. Yesterday, I guess it was, it was 2 days ago. Sunday was a fun day. Yesterday wasn't, So now I think I'm in the, and now I have Nashville to look forward to. But I did want to touch a little bit in the last segment of this, today's podcast. And I want to touch a little bit more. Oh, Dad started the car.
That's his car.
Or maybe it's a lawnmower.
Sounds like a lawnmower.
Yeah, maybe. But I wanted to touch a little bit about, so I had all that emotional stuff going on. You had your daughter with her emotional stuff. Another one of our besties, or my besties, is her son got in a motorcycle accident.
So scary.
I want to first say he's okay, but he literally, my dad slid and almost died hitting that loose gravel on the edge of the road. And my dad had ridden motorcycles forever. And our friend's kid, he's young, but he still is not like an erratic driver. He's very responsible. But you hit that loose gravel, and he hit it in an area. Apparently, there was a cliff. And when he went down, he didn't pass. We don't think he got knocked out, but basically you go down, right, and everything's a blur. And he said he opened his eyes at the foot of a cross, and the cross was where someone else had died there. So it's obviously a dangerous area, but also he landed at a foot of a cross, and he was okay. And so it was really it gave you chills because he saw that, he realized that, and he knew how close he came. And he's totally banged up, but even for, his dad was with him and just hugged him and held him, knowing, gosh, how close that was. And then his mom was with me at Landis's graduation, and she couldn't help but think about wow, that's all it takes is 1 second, and it doesn't have to be your fault. Right? Landis was a passenger in a car. And it was the irresponsible driver that ran the red light. But accidents happen, and sometimes they are our fault. But it doesn't mean we did it on purpose. And I'm not saying that was the case. I'm just saying that anything can happen anytime, and there's close calls throughout people's lives. And it really gives you perspective. For Dad, he went into a panic in his head thinking, he's 87. He doesn't know what's going to take him. He
said something really cute too, and it was cute, but it was sad. It was didn't he say something when he was going to?
Oh yeah, I recorded it.
I can't remember.
I'm still here, or
something like that. But
or it's not time yet, or something.
Said something like that. I was like, oh.
Yeah. So, and I was like, Dad, it's not like you. But I think for me, I don't worry till I have to. And even when it's me. But not everyone's like that.
No, I'm not like that. I worry instantly. That's me.
You start getting in your head and stuff. And a lot of people do. I think I'm just a mind over matter person, which is also why I'm not very consoling when people are scared. I'm like, why are you scared? We have nothing to be scared of. And I'm like the toughen you up. So call me when you need me. I think I've said this before. Call me when you need me to toughen you up. Or you need to laugh. But I can give you a good hug, and I can listen. But I'm always trying to find the glass half full part of everything. maybe to a fault sometimes. I'm sorry if that is what you encounter with me, but I just try to, and then I get frustrated. I'm like, Dad, I got after him. You need to tell me. You have to communicate. He's like, why are you always getting mad at me? I'm like, because you're like a child and I have to reprimand you. But anyways, just to go back to this, I feel like now that we're over 50, we're seeing and experiencing so much more, right? I mean, we're having adult kids that we could protect our little ones a lot more than we can protect them as adults.
Yes.
Then our parents, your mom was just here for Ella's graduation, and you don't see her on the regular basis because she doesn't live here, and so you notice things that are changing and maybe declining, and like bodies changing,
for sure,
memories changing, like and I noticed with my dad. Not really with my mom yet, but she's still in her mid-70s. How old is your mom?
My mom is 70, almost 76.
Yeah, okay, so...
But still, like, because I don't see her even yearly. I mean, it's been 2 years since I've seen her, but, you can see a difference every time. Yeah. And it's wild. Like,
and I've said before, like, I almost get, like in denial and mad about it.
Me too. I do too. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, and I start being like I don't want him to it's not your heart. You're fine. You need to do this. I get, but I know he knows me and he gets me. So he doesn't really get offended. But I know that when he needs more mushy, he calls a different sister. Or 2 or 3. So anyway, but then, we went to, best friend Jess she helps with Charity for Charity, and her dad passed away, and I think I knew, but he became her dad when she was 2.
Okay.
And so sitting in that service, I tell you, Tim McGraw sings a song like Live Like You're Dying.
Yes.
Because I really think we need reminding of that all the time. I mean, my dad, when he was in the hospital, he was like, I really have no regret. I mean, I have things I would have done differently, but I've lived. He goes, he keeps telling me, in the hospital, when he doesn't feel good, when he's happy, it doesn't matter. I can't tell you how many times he said, I love my life. I have the best life. I've got the best friends. I'm so happy. I really, really enjoy life, and I'm ready, whenever. I've done everything I could possibly want to do. I have the best relationships with friends and family, and I'm really, really set. And I appreciate that, because you need that, I think, as the one that will be possibly losing. I mean, who knows? He could lose me before I lose him, but and I feel the same. So just don't know that out there. I'm definitely ready whenever God wants to take me. I don't live regretting. I live seizing. I have stuff I would have done different 100%, but I can't hold on to that. I have to just keep moving forward. So anyway, but talk about someone that didn't live with regrets. Jess's dad, that service was so beautiful. And I sat there thinking, I want people to say that about me. I hope people say that about me. I mean, first of all, I want people to know that I love Jesus, and I want them to have seen Jesus through me. And that's, for a man, I think it's even more impactful when people talk about how he loved the Lord. And loving the Lord, especially for men, God calls you to honor your wife, and he called her his bride.
Aww.
I mean, that is so beautiful. I've heard a couple other men use that term, and I just think it takes it to another level. Babe and honey is sweet, but to call you his bride or his love,
cute.
So beautiful.
So cute.
And then his kids, they all talked about how much they felt love because of how much he loved his wife.
Aww.
And that is something that I remember a pastor told me. He asked me how, it was in premarital counseling from my first marriage.
It's okay. It's okay. It's where you learned. I mean, you took something from that.
Yeah, or maybe it was the second one, but whatever. Anyway, it was premarital counseling. Obviously, didn't work, but he made a good point, and it was that he said, "How do you what do you think the best way to show your children love is?" I didn't have any kids at the time, obviously, and so we were throwing out hug them, kiss them, tell them you love them, spend time with them, and all these things. And he kept saying, yeah, those are all great ways, but the most important way to show your children that you love them is to love their parent.
That's
and
awesome.
put them first.
Yeah.
And then I watched Alex and I went to parenting courses through our church years ago. I can't even believe I got him to go to those. He went to a few, and then he dropped off, and then I was going by myself, single parenting, and that's kind of what I did after that. But it was the most profound thing that I heard was a story. They were psychologists that were kind of spearheading. They were Christ-based psychologists, and they said that these parents came in with their daughter, and they said, we don't know what's going on with her. She's getting up every single night, crying every single night. We don't know. We've asked school, nothing's going on at school. We have a happy home, like we go to church on Sunday, like all the things that like we think of that are a stable home, she had. So the psychologists kept, like, they were talking about the things they would ask the parents. And so the one thing that stood out was they asked the parents, does she get to see you two interact together? And they're like, well, and it totally reminds me of my life with Alex. Well, no, when my husband gets up, he goes to work, the kids are in bed, I get them up, I get them ready, I send them to school, I pick them up from school, I bring them home, I feed them, we do baths. My husband goes in and says their prayers with them, reads them a story, and puts them in bed. So yeah, they get all this love and attention from both of us all day long. But no, they don't see us together. So the psychologist said, this is what I want you to do for a week. I want you guys to take 10 minutes, go sit on the couch together and tell the kids, this is mommy daddy time and you can't interrupt. We're not going to address any situation. You can sit and watch TV, you can go color, but don't interrupt mommy daddy time. And he said, it makes me cry. He said, sit, hold each other's hands and talk to each other, and the kids are not your priority in that 10 minutes. So they did this for a week, and they would give each other a kiss and laugh, and the kids were not allowed to interrupt them. Wouldn't you know, that little girl didn't get up one more night in the middle of the night. And it was the security. I think that we're born with that, like, need
for sure
for our parents to be our stability and security. And it doesn't mean that a step parent can't fill that, but you need to have a solid foundation for them. So Alex and I did that with the kids a few times, and they started, like, at first they were like, huh? And then they were like, they would laugh and tease us about mommy daddy time. And then they just went on their way. And I'll tell you, even today, when Alex and I, like, hold each other, or like will hold a hand, which doesn't happen very often. I wish it happened more because I love holding hands. But the kids, you see a change in them and their, like, feelings, and then they'll, like, and they will sometimes pull us together, like Logan mostly, but even Luca.
Yeah,
the other day Luca did that. He had me on one side and Alex on the other, and he pulled us together. Cute. And so obviously you can't always have that, but it just goes to show that, like, I think we can be okay when we know that our parents are okay.
Yeah, security is very important, especially when kids are younger. But I think,
older. I think we never don't need it. I mean, like, for instance, my parents aren't together, but I'm just saying, like, as an adult, even knowing my dad's okay, like, him reassuring me, and then I'm seeing it, you know, my mom and Jeff, they're good. You know, they have a solid foundation. They go to church together in the morning. I mean, they pray over meals. They have all that. So I'm getting it. It might not be the traditional or the way that I would have loved to have it stay, with my parents together. Although it is hard to see them together today. Like, when I look at them today, I'm like, I don't know, that doesn't.
They don't
cute.
Go. I never saw them together either. So,
But so I don't know. I was thinking about all these things, and Tracy's like, what are we going to talk about today? And I was like, I was thinking through, like, how my week didn't end, and still on the emotional roller coaster, but kind of coming back around to, like, all the things that we've all been through in the last week, and what we go through. And I think that the biggest thing is, like, we got to live life like it's our last day every day, because we just never know. I mean, Jess's dad, it was sudden. Yeah. You don't know. So you don't always get notice, Right. My stepdad's best friend, who's younger than him, I think, or maybe they're the same age, for his whole, like, since he was a child, had a stroke and ended up passing away Monday.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Or yeah, it was Sunday. It was Sunday morning. And it was, even though it wasn't a sudden accident, it was a quick stroke, and then he was gone. So I just want to. I think we could all use a reminder as many times as we can to, make the phone call.
Yeah.
Spend the time. Enjoy life and reassure your family if you are okay, and if you're not, get help so you can be okay. Yeah. Be very picky about your help, though.
Yes, 100%.
Use references or do the research, but don't be afraid to get help. I also want to say that I have gone to counseling. I'm totally not ashamed to go to counseling.
I know.
And I think it is so good when it's good.
I think so too. I 100% agree.
And if if you're good at talking to your friends, talk to your friends. But you don't always have the expertise as a friend to really give people tools what to do.
Yeah.
So
it is good. In therapy, though, I have learned that it is good to have your friends that you can confide in, besides just having a therapist who's not really a stranger, but a stranger, but a stranger. But they can give certain advice. But it's good to be able to talk to people in your everyday life too.
Well, and always be who you are. I think that it's a hard thing sometimes because I want people to like me. I want this, I want that. But I read something, I wish I had it in front of me, but I think it was somebody just posted yesterday. If it was you, cool, shout out. I totally know who you are and I can't think of it. But it was for this next week, call the people that call you, love the people that love you, and ignore the people that ignore you.
I love that.
It was something to that effect, but it's we need to stop putting energy into the ones that drain us or that don't reciprocate and put it into the ones that do, that really you can be who you are with. And they help lift you up and help you shine. Yeah. So I guess I'll just end with that.
That's good.
Not like I'm old wise one, but I am old and I'm kind of lived a little bit.
Yeah. I like that.
So, good all right, you guys. Well, that's not all. We hope you enjoyed today, our little impromptu without rendezvous. And thank you, Tracy, for being here. And Tracy's birthday's tomorrow. Shout out to Tracy. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tracy. We're going to Pechanga to celebrate you. Yeah. So we're going to celebrate her tomorrow. All right, you guys. Thank you for listening to Bumper Soup, where we're covering life's chaos with humor and heart, and sometimes some emotion, which I guess is hard. All right. We thank you, love you, and we will be back next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.